Live from Red Zone Weather in Bruton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Megginson. A severe weather update starts right now.
Multiple rounds of strong to severe thunderstorms likely at times on Friday into Saturday. We have a level 2 out of 5 severe weather risk for much of Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and all of northwest Florida through Saturday morning. Hope you're having a nice Thursday evening. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson. We all have a severe weather risk as we get into tonight and tomorrow and on Saturday. It's going to be an active weather period as we get into the next 48 hours. The first round of strong to severe storms may happen in the overnight hours, extending into Friday morning. A lot of uncertainty with the timing on this, but be ready as potentially early as tomorrow morning we may have strong to severe storms around. So a level 2 out of 5 severe weather risk. What does that mean? It means some of us may have severe thunderstorms on Friday. The first round of storms is going to be more of a deal that happens down here closer to the coast. And then tomorrow during the daytime hours, there will be an increased risk farther inland and perhaps another round of storms region-wide tomorrow evening. So let's look at what may happen. This is off of the 3-kilometer North American model. We're looking at the projected radar. And perhaps as soon as midnight to 1 a.m., we may have storms sliding in here from the west. Again, I think the greatest risk of severe storms overnight, it's not a high risk, but there is a risk of stronger storms closer to the immediate coast overnight into the early part of Friday, and then heavy rain and flash flooding certainly going to be a concern tomorrow during the daytime hours, particularly inland across southwest Alabama. Multiple rounds of strong to severe storms ahead. There could be another round of storms that develops back over Louisiana and Mississippi and ultimately crosses our region tomorrow in the evening hours, extending into tomorrow night. So it's going to be a very active 48 hours. Rain and thunderstorms possible on Saturday, particularly in the morning hours as well. So let's zoom in, break it down for the local area. Again, a round of showers and thunderstorms possible overnight into Friday. Some of these storms, particularly near the coast, especially here in coastal Alabama, may briefly become severe. In the first round of storms, it looks like the core risk farther inland is a bit lower, but then tomorrow morning we may see heavy rain that could lead to flash flooding farther inland, and some of these storms tomorrow during the daytime hours may be severe. Tornadoes, damaging straight-line winds, large hail, and flash flooding will all be concerns. That look is valid tomorrow at 3 o'clock, rolling into the evening hours on Friday. Another batch of showers and storms, very active period. You must have a way to hear urgent weather warnings over the next 48 hours. These storms could produce 3, 4, 5 inches of rain. Greatest rain probability back here over west Alabama in parts of Choctaw, Marengo, Clark, Washington, Monroe, and Wilcox counties. And even on Saturday, we may have lingering rain and thunderstorms across our local area. Round 1 tonight into early Friday. Round 2 during the daytime hours of Friday. Round 3 tomorrow evening. And round 4 overnight Friday into Saturday. So again, active weather. That's the big weather headline over the next 48 hours, and that's why we have this level 2 out of 5 severe weather risk. Lower end risk for central Alabama and central Mississippi. Level 2 out of 5 risk category for most of the hazards. More concerned about flash flooding. Certainly more concerned than what we had earlier in the week, because if you remember around this time last week when all this severe weather mess started, the soil was much drier than it is now. Now we've had multiple rounds of rain and thunderstorms, and thus soil conditions are more conducive for flash flooding. We also may have a few tornadoes. Got to have a way to get urgent weather warnings. Damaging straight-line winds, hail, could have a few power outages as well, and obviously cloud-to-ground lightning, always a concern anytime we have storms. So let's break down the risk. This is going to be a situation where we may have a few tornadoes on Friday. Looks like the tornado risk may ramp up tomorrow evening, but as early as tonight into early Friday, we could have a few tornadoes, especially down here around the coast. So again, the risk is highest first at the coast, then later farther inland tomorrow. And so tornadoes possible, damaging straight line winds also going to be a concern, along with large hail. Looks like the hail threat will maximize across Louisiana, Mississippi, and West Alabama, but could have a few reports of hail up to the size of golf balls with the storm. So a level 2 risk day, 2 out of 5 on Friday. And then on Saturday, we see a low-end severe weather risk for much of South Alabama, all of Northwest Florida. A few lingering strong to severe storms possible on Saturday. The risk is not particularly high at any point, but multiple rounds of thunderstorms are ahead. And I am concerned about the growing potential for flash flooding, particularly across West Alabama. You can see these lighter shades of red. That's where we're expecting 3, 4, maybe even 5 inches of rain. Greater rain amounts along and west of Interstate 65. Monroeville, Thomasville, Jackson, Grove Hill, Chatham, Milry, Mobile, Wilmer, Sims, Citronelle all have the highest risk of experiencing flash flooding over the next 48 hours, but really across the region. We're expecting high rain amounts back here in Louisiana and Mississippi as well. One thing that's a little bit of late breaking news, I should say, the Weather Service has decided to go ahead and pull the trigger on a flood watch for all local counties unless you're at the immediate beaches and bays. You can see we don't have that shade of green near the beaches and bays, and that's because rain amounts down here near the immediate coast won't stack up most likely to what we see farther inland. So a flood watch now in effect for all local counties until Saturday evening. Here's your next 7 days, by the way. We do have sunshine on the way for Sunday into Monday, but not before an active weather period on Friday into Saturday. Highs slated to be in the 80s over the next several days, rising into the low 90s by the time we get to next week. Morning lows in the 60s. Again, have a way to hear warnings today, or excuse me, I should say tonight, tomorrow on your Friday, and into Saturday as well. Because of this, it's a level 2 out of 5 severe weather risk, meaning scattered instances of severe storms possible. This is not a situation where you need to stay up and worry about weather. As long as you have a way to hear warnings, you'll be in good shape. And of course, take action if you happen to get a tornado warning. And if we have tornadoes locally across South Alabama or Northwest Florida, tornado warnings anyway, of course, we'll come on Facebook Live and bring you the very latest. Keep in mind, even on these level 2 risk days, when there can be damage from severe storms and tornadoes across the region, most communities won't have severe storms. That's just the fact of the matter. So I hope that provides some ease to folks that have severe weather anxiety. Yes, we may have a few destructive storms, but overall, the risk for any one given community is rather low. But simply have a way to hear storms, and we'll get you through this every step of the way in the Red Zone Weather app. Plenty more updates posted in the Red Zone Weather app in the coming hours. And of course, if we have tornado warnings overnight or on Friday or into Saturday, we'll come on Facebook Live and bring you the very latest. Let me know if you have specific questions in the comments below. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday evening.
Be sure to find us across social media, and don't forget to download the free Red Zone Weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our Red Zone Weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.